This episode is brought to you by Alyssa Maloney. Alyssa's queen, and we know it. When we asked for support, she really showed it. She's hot, and you're not. But if you want to hang with her, you should give it one shot. Top that. Top that. You can give all that you can, but you'll never top Alyssa. Top that. Top that.
No, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you call me, sticks back on you. You think you're hot stuff because you went to a dance. Dream on, nobody wants to date you because you're a dog. A dog! A dog!
Hey, I feel funny. Can't stand up.
You are standing up.
I'm a dog. Louise, what'd you do to me?
Nothing.
You.
Nothing I can't fix. It was just a mistake. I can fix it.
Look at me! Oh my, look at all this hair on me. I even smell like a dog. Oh, Louise, I gotta get out of here.
Hey guys, it's the Large Marge Sundays podcast. Your podcast where two sweeties talk about their favorite childhood flicks and also drink and stuff.
And stuff.
I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And today we are bringing you our last Halloween movie.
No!
We can still watch spooky movies not on Halloween.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Anyways, this last movie, I think we saved the best for last.
Totally.
I think. It is Teen Witch.
You can't top that.
No, I can't because it's the best.
So good.
It's so good. Every time it starts, I get this feeling in my stomach. I just get so excited because I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Even though I just watched sort of recently.
Is it because you saw Brad Powers?
I did. Wait, his last name is Powers?
Yes.
Oh. I always think
Power.
Well, I always think she's doing the spell, and she's like, I need Brad Power.
No,
like,
it's like
Brad
Brad Power.
Power.
So good.
Oh.
Unless it's Powell. No, it's Power.
It's too advanced.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. So this movie is fabulous. Would you consider this a cult classic?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totes.
Although so last time, or we were talking about The Worst Witch, I mistakenly said that wasn't a Disney original movie. This one, I think, actually was a Disney original movie.
Still, I'm not sure about that. It didn't say anywhere.
Well, all right, maybe not. I'll look it up. But no, The Worst Witch was they played it on HBO.
Oh,
It was like an HBO special movie. But this one, let's double check. Talk about something else while I do that.
So Teen Witch made a lot later than I thought it was. I thought it was like a mid-'80s movie because it's so 80s. Like, reeks of the 1980s so much. It's like disgusting. Huge dose of the 80s in terms of the music and the style and the themes, and it's just insane. So anyway, made in 1989, so like really the tail end of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when, the 90s kind of started to take over, but there's just so much 80s goodness in this. It's painful.
Update, not a Disney movie.
See, but they showed it on the Disney Channel a lot.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What was the first time you remember watching this?
89 it was made?
Yeah. Like, how old do you think you were?
I couldn't have been more than like 7 or I want to say 7. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they always played this on TV all the time, and it's funny because when you grow or when you watch the full movie, not the TV version, you realize how much stuff they probably cut out. Because when we saw like the real version, I had no idea some of this stuff was in here, but I wrote it all down, so we'll talk about that later. Right. For now, we'll start with
sweetie synopsis.
Yeah, sweeties. Louise Miller is a young lass who is nerdy but has the good fortune of being very attractive.
Even when she's supposed to be nerdy.
She's still gorgeous, and
they just made her wear big old man coats and frizzed up her hair.
She's still beautiful.
She's cute.
Yeah. So she's having a hard time, you guys, because even though she's gorgeous, no one seems to like her, and they think that she's too little looking, even though she looks at least 30 years old.
She's a big old loser,
I guess. She has one friend named Polly, weird Polly, and a crazy pig brother named Richie, and 2 parents. Yeah. The week before her birthday, the love of her life, Brad Powers,
Such a good name for
almost,
like a heartthrob.
Almost runs her over with his convertible. Her bike gets a flat tire. She tries to use the phone at Madame Serena's, who's a psychic. Madame Serena does not have a phone, but bonus, she'll read your palm for only $6, which in 1989 was kind of a lot of money. Why did Louise just willingly was like, okay, here's a lot of money? I don't know. So she's reading her palm, and then Madame Serena says, whoa, wait, what did you say her name was? And she, like, stops. Louise Miller? Miller. And then she goes, you're one of us. And so does she come out and say it at that moment that she's a witch? No.
She goes, you're not a mark, you're one of us. So she, like, does try to rip off people who come. And
right, but then she turns normal.
She's really not a psychic, she's a witch. And maybe, I don't think that's the same thing. No. Anyway, so Louise is a witch, but she doesn't get her powers until her 16th birthday. So she kind of gets freaked out about this, goes home, tries to continue normal life. She gets invited to a dance by the very popular girl named Randa.
Not a real name.
Worst name ever. I mean, your name is probably Rhonda.
Yeah, really.
What happened there?
Not a real name.
Randa doesn't really like her, and her annoying cousin is coming to town, and so he needs a date. So they like hook up Louise with the cousin, and he is this disgusting dweeb, like just nasty. And at one point they're at the dance and they leave together, and he's like trying to like basically assault her in the car. Bad news. She goes, I wish you would just disappear. And he does. He just turns to glasses. He wears glasses, and his glasses he doesn't turn to glasses. His glasses, like, fall onto the seat, and no one's driving the car. So she's like, oh my God, like, flipping out, goes back to Serena's house. Maybe she can fix this. She's not home. Comes home and finds her little brother, Richie, making a mess in the kitchen.
Can we just, what do you think is on that pizza?
The pizza is... I looked much more closely when we were watching this time. Marshmallows.
I noticed that.
Which you think looks like big things of mozzarella cheese.
Oh, no. I've always known it was marshmallows.
Very thick red tomato sauce. Peppers, pickles.
There's something green. Yeah. Jalapenos?
I don't know.
Maybe. It's so weird.
It's nasty. And, like, somehow there's, like, pasta sauce.
Everywhere.
All over. Like, it looks like blood.
Yeah.
Put his
like
hands
he just,
everywhere.
yeah. Ugh,
so he goes, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever
you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
And then he ends up, no one likes you, Louise, because you're a dog. A dog. A dog. Ooh. And then it turns into a dog.
So good.
Yeah.
So Louise is like, oh shit, something is up. She puts Richie in the tub. He turns back. Next day, she goes back to Madame Serena's. Madame Serena explains to her, you're a witch. This is what it is.
Here's a spell book.
Here's a spell book to brush up on the basics. Louise takes it to a weird abandoned carousel. I guess that's her happy place. Be my nightmare. I think like Paul Rubens was gonna like spin around.
That's like the scene in Buffy.
I know. I was like, I think he's gonna spin around on the
weird.
next carousel. She does some test spells. She makes it windy. She makes it rain. She's like, this is awesome. So the first big spell she does is the truth one.
Yeah.
So in the locker room, the girls that she hates, the bitchy Randa, she does this truth spell where they can only say the truth, and then they get into like a girl fight. It's very funny. She does some other stuff. She tries to make Brad Power fall in love with her. She decides not to go through with it because she wants him to love her for who she is.
Right.
It's a strong message.
Makes a voodoo doll out of the jerky English teacher who, like, totally inappropriately went through her purse in the middle of class and, like, takes out her birth control and makes fun of her for taking it. Unexcusable. Luckily, makes a voodoo doll of him and has him strip. She strips the little voodoo doll, and then he ends up stripping in the middle of class. And then randomly, the voodoo doll also gets thrown down the stairs and into the washer, so he does that too. So that's like a really funny scene.
Mm-hmm. But the big spell, the one everyone talks about, is when Louise goes to Shana Live. Well, Shana's concert.
U.S. World Tour.
Shana's U.S. World Tour, who is essentially a like Paula Abdul Madonna type singer in the 80s, who Louise aspires to be style-wise. She gets herself backstage with Polly. She needs Shauna's jacket, this weird potion that Madame Serena makes, and then has to do a bunch of stuff in her room, like spin around at 45 RPMs, which I don't know how you would figure out.
That's really fast for a person to spin.
Well, she was going fast.
Revolutions per minute.
When she went around
fast.
one time, she went off.
You would barf. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It's fast.
Probably. So that spells over. Suddenly, she's gorgeous, and her hair is not frizzy anymore.
Perfectly permed.
She's
bright red.
Beautiful makeup.
Yeah.
Lovely lip gloss.
Her
makeup,
wardrobe
lipstick.
is now a 10. She's like the epitome of 80s wardrobes with like these cute little denim skirts with these little like ruffles, tutus. So
does all that stuff,
socks and pumps.
Does all that stuff just appear? Because previously her closet resembled like a homeless man's shopping cart of coats.
Yeah. No, I think it just, once you're popular, like you have a good wardrobe.
What?
And so it's not only, so she looks good, but everyone also thinks she's like the most popular girl too. So this is the whole point of this, is that everyone like follows her around like a rock star. Which she loves at first.
Yep. And then she's like, well, this isn't so great.
This is not great.
Because they don't really like me for who I am.
Right.
It's just because of this dumb smell.
Right.
So she gets she loses Polly as a friend, basically.
But does have a terrific love scene.
Finally,
Frencher.
Finally, Brad corners
Powers.
her after school and takes her to an abandoned house in the countryside.
Hey, want to come with me to this abandoned house where there's sunflowers all over the place?
They go inside. He runs up and then hides and then leaves a piece of clothing at every step.
Strip scavenger hunt.
Yep. So she gets at the top. They meet. They kiss. I think they do it. It's a question I wrote down.
No!
It had to have. They were doing it.
Sweetie.
Did you see that kiss?
She never had kissed anybody before. She
So?
didn't look like someone who had been plucked.
Zero to here. Ew. I don't think that's... it's not a thing. You don't look any different after you do it.
Or do you?
She's
too young. And she's too smart. She never would have done it.
Okay. We'll see about that. I will ask her. Dear Louise.
Dear Louise. Dear Robin Lively.
No, I'm asking Louise, and she's going to tell me. Anyway, so, final scene at the dance. She says, hey, let's see the true test of this love. So she takes off her little amulet thing that gives her powers, throws it to Madame Serena, who she invited to the dance. I guess.
Cute.
Yeah, I guess. And then Brad still likes her.
All eyes are on her. Probably because she's wearing the hottest little blue dress with a kind of cute little peplum skirt. Always wanted one for myself. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that costume that our sister had that was like a genie and it was like sparkly blue material and there was like pants and a shirt?
Vaguely.
And we would wear it sometime. It was like that material.
We would just wear it sometimes.
I would pretend to be Louise, putting on this outfit.
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, anyway.
I don't know.
So it works. And they do this amazing dance at the end to this song called It's Gonna Be My Finest Hour.
Do you think that was the theme song to the movie Finest Hour? The Finest Hour?
That movie was about the Coast Guard.
But wouldn't it be funny if,
That would be hilarious.
If the
You
last
should
scene,
make that preview over again.
It's gonna be
Chris
my
Pine and the Coast Guard boat.
I'm gonna sail this Coast Guard boat.
But good message. You don't need popularity to be everything and to get the things you want.
You just need to be hot.
Yes.
You just need to be hot as fuck. And that's that.
Good movie.
So good.
Good movie.
It's so good.
All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the finer points, the finest hour points.
Well, first of all, there are several amazing songs.
This is essentially another
Musical. But unlike the other musicals we've covered, almost all the songs are amazing. I'd say all of them, actually. I wrote them all down.
They ain't too shabby. Me too. Oh my god.
Oh my god, what? Okay. First song, Never Gonna Be the Same Again.
Yep. So good. 80s, just so 80s. How is it? How do you know if you were I don't know, if you were an alien and you heard this song and they're like, why would this remind you of the 80s, Mr. Alien?
No, that's a terrible example. The alien has no idea what the 80s is. How about if you were blindfolded and somebody brought you to a club and asked you to guess what decade you were in? Okay. You would say, jazz sax.
It's the saxophone.
It's the 80s. So good. It's amazing.
I miss the saxophones so much.
I know. There's a guy that plays the saxophone in the T station. Arlington, who used to like do the jazz sax, and I'd be like, I feel like I'm in Teen Witch. Like,
maybe you should ask him to play some Teen Witch. Do you know Never Gonna Be the Same Again?
He would know, obviously.
It's a really good song. They play it a couple times.
Yep.
Number 2, We Like Boys.
I Love Boys.
So there's well,
I think it's
I Love Boys. Okay.
I like boys.
So it's so random. They're
Not
like,
for lesbians.
I guess it's supposed to like show how all the other girls were like in school. And Louise is kind of like watching. I don't know if she's like, I want to be like them, I guess. But she's also a little bit like, these girls are dumb.
Yeah, most of the time she just looks like that.
So it's this horrible dance routine. Apparently their gym uniform is like these high-cut purple leotards with shorts.
Okay. Well, it's confusing because there's also a pool. So
those were bathing suits?
So I was thinking they're bathing suits.
Wow. I wish my gym had a pool. I mean, my high school had a pool.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's an intro. It's so funny. It's a funny song also, but like pre-hetero, no room for lesbians in this gym class. So
no. And well, I don't know. I'm not the greatest fan of the song.
I think they should rewrite it and be like, I like boys, but if you like girls, it's okay. Yeah. I like boys. Girls are cool too. Yeah.
But I just always like, I'm gonna throw my dolls away, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, like, keep all your shit.
Not when you're 17. I don't know if you want to keep your Barbies around.
Oh.
You would get boys that way. They had a point.
Yeah.
Number 3, the most famous song from this film, Top That.
Top That.
Love it. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to play this clip. It's so funny. This school, like many high schools in the 1980s, the decade, had a, what did I call it? A rap squad.
A rap squad? A white male rap squad?
Yep.
Where were the people of color in this film?
Nowhere.
That's my
I don't know
question.
where this is, but there's no black people.
Yep.
No Asian people. There's one Native American guy.
There was some Hispanic people.
Oh, yeah. Probably California somewhere, Southern Cal.
Yeah, but then why were they wearing these like giant coats sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
And they were all, so I put in here, best sweaters I've ever seen in this movie. I'm going to do like a whole like
Fashion.
BuzzFeed like listicle of all the sweaters that are in this movie. They're like intense.
It would be a good rundown, that's for sure.
So maybe it's San Francisco. It's cool there.
Maybe. We'll look it up. Another question for Louise later.
Yep. Number 4, popular girl.
I'm gonna be the most popular girl. Hey, pretty lady. And the rap squad's back. I love it. It's great. It's a good song. Funny. I just think it's so funny how they're so obsessed with her. Like there's, in that scene, there's signs all over the school that are like, Louise! Exclamation point. Yeah. I mean, would that be great or what?
But it's like that. So like Randa, that name is like the most ridiculous thing. I can't. It's like Randy.
Yeah,
it's like terrible. The female version of Randy, which is a horrible name anyway.
No offense.
Sorry, Randy's out there. Randy's of the world. It's not like Randa had like was okay the most popular girl probably, right?
Yeah.
And like Brad even says this, and there's no like signs with her like Randa everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, it just took it to like a whole new level.
Yeah, it's turned up a few notches for sure. But right, I mean, also she's way prettier than Randy, so Rhonda.
Maybe her nickname was Randy.
We fucked it up. We're changing it. It's It's now she's now known as Randy. Forget it.
And then Finest Hours.
Yep.
The final one, right?
Finest Hours.
Wow, we got them all.
The unofficial theme song to the Finest Hours.
Gonna be my finest. Wait, what's the part that I love?
When Brad sings?
No, when Brad sings. No, what is that? Don't stop me now, cause I got the power.
The Brad power.
Just be with me in my finest hour tonight. It's gonna be my finest hour. Don't tell me now, cause I got the power. No,
wow. I don't know. That's good.
That's pretty good.
So those were the songs. So they're all good though. There wasn't a Cheer Up Charlie in this movie.
See, they learned.
There wasn't a song that you skipped over because you were so bored of it. I like them all. They're great. So yeah, so that's my favorite, maybe my favorite part. One of my favorite parts about this movie. What do you have to say about it?
So on my notes, I have Richie, funny accent.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Richie have that accent? It's like British / maybe a little bit.
And I think most of his stuff was done in post because he's not moving his lips all the time when he's talking. He doesn't. The actor doesn't. He speaks English and everything. I mean, that's his voice. But there must have been like. If you watch some of the scenes again, like he doesn't
rewrote the dialogue.
He like speaks through his teeth. So he's either very talented or they did it all in post. I don't know. So, but yeah, he has such a weird cadence. I don't know.
Yeah. So we have always had a thing with Richie's part where so when she becomes popular, Richie also thinks like that he's under the spell too. So he also thinks like she's the greatest thing ever. And so he comes into her room in the morning and he's wearing a bellhop costume and it's like a tray with all like roses on it and her breakfast. And so we always would do this part.
Your morning paper. I took the liberty of ironing your homework.
So good. And who this episode is dedicated to, my dear, lovely college roommate, Alyssa Maloney. Love that part so much. She just go, your morning paper? All the time. And we'd like crack up. And that's how I knew we were going to be besties.
And we use it now with each other. That's just how we say good morning to each other.
Morning paper?
Morning paper.
And the other one Richie does, which we always say when like no one's gonna come to stuff. Like we had sometimes small fears of when you like have a party or like you do like an invite on Facebook or whatever, and like no one shows up at first, and you're just kind of sad about it. You're like, oh, no one's gonna come. So we'd always say, no one's coming to your sweet 16 party, Louise.
We use that a lot. Actually.
A lot. Those makes me sad.
Those two lines we use all the time.
We're like, so Louise, good, but no one comes to our party.
But Richie is hilarious. Strange person, but very funny. Yeah. Love him.
Definitely like a highlight of this movie
for sure.
I put down. Brad, as we've discussed quite a few times. Brad Powers, hot. So definitely makes it as the 80s heartthrob by far. He's so cute. And I looked at his like updated headshot on IMDb. Still cute. He's like in his mid-50s.
God.
Kind of the poor man's Tom Cruise or the rich man Tom Cruise because he's even cuter.
I think he's cuter than Tom Cruise.
Yes. Rich man's Tom Cruise.
For sure.
But has all these like Tom Cruise moments though that are like it's just too much. Yeah. I mean, they use him. There's this part when he's in the house. They go to the abandoned house and it's like crazy like jazz sax. And so he's like, there's this one part where he's like in a tank top and these like Jordache high cut jeans and like those high top sneakers with like one foot against the wall and he's like
looking out the window.
Looking at the window and the sun hits him in this certain way.
Perfectly.
And what did you call it?
A tiger beat.
Tiger
beat fold out. That's what that was.
It's I just can't imagine filming this and like trying to be serious.
Rip that poster out, put it on your wall, motherfucker.
But he's hot. I'd have a crush on him.
Sure.
She has good taste.
Soup's hot.
And he was actually a really nice guy.
He was. He was really always nice, like from the beginning, right. I feel like.
No, it wasn't like that thing.
He wanted to help her when he almost hit her with his car, thank God. Otherwise, I'd been like, dude, ditch
That's why I'm glad, like, it could have been a thing where she was like, the cute guy is actually, like, totally sucks.
Yeah.
But he was really cool, and they both deserve to be together, so.
True.
I'm glad that happened.
True that. Okay, so back to the television version versus this movie unedited version. So I don't think I saw this in its entirety until like not too long ago, I want to say. Probably in college sometime I caught the unedited version. So here are some differences between the TV version and the unedited version. Number one, there's a whole scene about sex ed, which is so weird and seemingly out of place. It's almost as if the people who made this movie were like, I think this movie has a little too much sexual energy in it. Let's find a way to slip a message in there. So it's so awkward. Louise isn't even in that scene.
Yeah, why do they do it at all? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Unless it was supposed to be like, okay, they're in high school, so like we have to talk about this. But they don't even talk about like P and the V. Like they leave that whole part out, and they're just like sperm and egg. Or
Use a condom.
Well, the lady pulls out an umbrella
to represent the penis.
The penis, I guess, an erect penis. And she's like, what is this supposed to represent? And that guy who wraps everything, like, puts out all the words for, like, the old words for
Johnson.
penises. Tallywhacker.
Tallywhacker.
Weird.
It's like, and then she pulls out a condom, and she's like, this is a condom. And then everybody goes, condom, condom, condom. It's so awkward. So, weird. So when I first saw that, I was like, what the fuck is happening to my Disney movie? Number 2, David, the weird geek, is apparently geeks were heavily into drugs in the 80s. It was like an uncool thing to do drugs? I'm so confused. So in the car ride on the way home, David says, want to smoke some weed? Or no, he says that at the gym, which is weird. And Louise is like, no. So that was not in the TV version. The scene where Louise conducts her tell the truth spell. The 3 girls, Randa, Kiki, and Sean, basically say mean things to one another. At the end, Randa.
Oh my God, you're never gonna get it right.
It's gonna write it down.
Never gonna be the same again.
What is it?
Randa, like Rhonda, but with an A.
I wrote it down. Randa says, "Butt out, bitch," and pushes her in the pool. I don't remember that in the TV version.
Too?
Yeah, well, the first one. Shut up, skank.
Shut up, skank.
And then she pushes Kiki into the water.
Just kidding, Randa.
Which
undoes,
I love her. Because it undoes the spell, so Kiki says that. But then Sean's still under the spell. He's like, yeah, I think the whole world will recognize your roots. Butt out, bitch. And then pushes her in the pool. It's good.
What's Kiki's real name?
I don't know. What's Kiki short for?
Well, my friend Robin's brother's name is Christopher, and we call him Kiki. So maybe it's Christine or something.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
And then lastly, when Mr. Weaver pulls out her birth control in her purse, I don't think I remember that from that scene. Because I think you thought she was just doing the voodoo scene because he was such a jerk in the beginning. In the very beginning, he pulls out, in the very beginning, I should say, Richie finds a piece from her diary where she talks about Brad. And then he's got his, sticky chocolate fingers all over it, and she, hides it in her notebook. Unfortunately, that gets stuck to her homework, and she passes it in, and terrible Mr. Weaver reads it, and then says her name at the end and gives it back to her.
Well, I love that part in the beginning where Richie has it, and he goes, Brad, I love to feel your arms around me. Oh, Brad.
Done. Caitlin? Short for Catherine or Christina?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well,
nailed it.
I'm gonna call out my friend's name Kiki now.
Kiki.
So get ready for that. But yeah, so those were the differences.
Interesting. So what's the common theme there, I guess? Sex, mostly sex and
the normal stuff you cut
swears.
Out. It kind of reminded me of the time I watched Showgirls unedited for the first time, except way less scary and terrifying. But you're just it's a totally different movie at some times. It's just a different tone, I'd say.
We won't be covering that one on the podcast.
What? It's my favorite.
Did not shape my childhood. I've never even seen it.
What? Oh my God! You have to get drunk and watch that.
It's
so funny. It's terrifying, but it's funny. Okay, so here's a giant question I have. Polly, they never make up.
No, well, wait, no, but I think they eventually end up because Polly ends up being with the guy that she likes at the dance, so I think she gets over it, their little feud.
I know, but I think
she gets a boyfriend that she wanted, so it's.
But I think it's sad that they didn't.
I think it's sad they
didn't harp on that. I guess.
Know. I think they should. It should have been the movie The Heat, where she's like, "Fuck boys." Well,
that's the trend. Friendship. That's the trend, and I think that was a backlash of all the more recent movies have come out, and Frozen was like that too, where. It's not really about the guys anymore because that used to only be the point of all women's
But
movies.
I think there's more to that in this movie. It's not, yes, it was about Brad and all that stuff, but it was what we said after the synopsis. It was about just being yourself.
Being confident.
And confident is really what she needed. Exactly. All 80s movies, right, have this thing about popularity. It is such a theme. If you watch, every 80s movie, it's about the class system in high school. And I never really got that because my high school wasn't really like that.
No, but you still wanted to be like really pretty and people to like you and stuff. So I mean, I get that aspect of it.
That is like something, I don't know like how that is, just maybe it's from these movies. Like what you're ingrained to strive for from the ages of like 14 to 18.
It's all their fault.
And then I feel like once kind of you go to college, everyone kind of gets a little bit more on like equal playing field.
Everyone can get laid in college.
Well, that too. Everyone drinks, and you're just like, no one knows who you are, so you can start from the beginning. Like, you could have been a loser in high school, but you can do whatever you want once you get to college. So it's just so interesting in how that is such a thing here, because she was really smart. She was pretty. She just needed that boost of confidence from a jean jacket and a tutu to make her feel like she was on top of the world.
I just want to say, no one talks about Shana and how she must feel that she randomly gave her, like, most important possession up to this random girl she didn't know. Like,
it's
that jacket meant a lot to her.
Now that I just finished Jessica Jones, it's a little Jessica Jones-ish to me, that she was, like, almost, like, mind-controlling people. That's how she got the jacket from Shana.
No, now you ruined it.
Not in a mean way.
You ruined everything.
Well, you just said, did Shana wake up and was like, shit, where's my jacket?
No, but she was like under the spell forever, I think.
Is that what happens?
At the end, remember, you see an autograph picture to Louise, like, Louise.
But when she stops all the spells and is like, I don't want to do this,
no.
then does everyone wake up and they're like, oh, wow, like, why is...
No, because they still liked her at the dance. They were still, like, into her, so, I don't know.
But was Shana?
Was Shana?
Celebrity?
Hello?
Shana, get back to us.
Tell us now. No one talks about that. Also, why is Louise's mom so weird? Like, don't you think she's weird? She's very, like, airheady.
I think her mom was supposed to represent, like, her mom is very pretty and glamorous now, and I think Louise is, like, upset, like, her mom is so cool, and, like...
She's not, though, because she buys her ugly sweaters.
Because she thinks, but she's a mom. Like, she thinks that's cool.
She just is so weird.
I bought this at the Young Miss
She's so weird.
Ugly
like,
sweater vest.
I forget the other thing
That's why she's like, Mom doesn't understand. Because I think she's a mom, but also because she's like she was a pretty mom, pretty young mom.
No, but so in the very beginning, when Polly is lamenting about the fact that Randa, I looked at my note to make sure I said that right. Why is Randa so attractive? Like, how do you get to be like that? And Louise says, genes. So she obviously thinks that she does not have those genes, which I always thought was weird because her mom's so pretty in this. So I think that it was kind of a disservice that her mom was so attractive, because it didn't make sense to me why, I'm
going to confess something.
What?
When I saw this movie as a little kid and I heard that line, I thought it meant her actual, like, Jordache jeans.
She was wearing a skirt in that scene.
So attractive.
Jeans.
Her jeans. Her Calvin Klein jeans.
I mean, I don't think so.
Oh, you're thinking it now.
She was wearing a skirt in that scene.
Jean skirt?
Makes sense. We can look up the quotes and see.
Maybe it's a double entendre.
Maybe. One of the great mysteries of the world.
Speaking of fashion, I miss the 80s, man.
I know.
Not only do I miss it for the jazz sax, I miss it for the amount of lace. There's so much lace in the 80s, and it was really pretty.
So your favorite outfit was the final one?
Okay, so the final one, number 1. Number 2, the beginning dream scene where she's in this, like, red lace bustier and, like, a red skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one.
Oh, yeah. That one's hot.
Number 3 was this, like, black skirt and, like, a striped top thing that she
walks
had.
into class and everybody's clapping.
And I love the little kitten heel. She never wears a full pump. It is a kitten heel and the socks with it. Super cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I love tutus.
Oh, yeah. The iconic scene.
I love the big hairs. I love the ruffles.
The iconic outfit is when she goes to the harvest dance wearing the ugly sweater her mom got her for her birthday, mixed with a plaid shirt and then a terrible skirt that's like floor length and her gross sneakers and socks. But when she gets to the dance, she changes in the bathroom into this crazy pink tutu, this blue shirt, like a purple top
red
thing.
eyeshadow.
Red eyeshadow.
What happened to red eyeshadow? Where did it go?
It just kind of looks like a wound or something. Like you're just, like you have a rash on your eye.
Poofy, like crimped hair.
And nobody else was
bangs.
dressed like that. So people may have been looking at her before, but now they were looking at her again because they're like, why is she so crazy dressed? Like she's not. She thinks she's Shana. She's not yet. But yeah, I love that outfit though. It's great. It's great. But yeah, the clothes, the songs, the quotes. Everything about it is great. I don't think there's any part where I'm like, oh, I hate this part.
Oh, it's so good. So I have a couple IMDb trivia.
Okay.
Number 1, Polly's current job right now?
Tattoo artist in LA with a trail?
That would be so awesome. Yoga instructor. She decided to do no more acting, but has all these celebrity clients in New York City, so she's kind of a big deal.
God.
See, Polly, you topped that.
Polly Waddle Doodle all the day.
The house that is Madame Serena's house that she first goes into is coincidentally also the house from 1983 music video called Thriller. Yeah, when he goes in, or she goes into the house at the end, and like all the zombies break in. So good.
It's spooky. It's a spooky house, so I get it.
Number 3, we were not able to verify this upon this watching, but IMDb says that Rita Wilson, wife of Tom Hanks, and in Now and Then, is credited as a dancer in this film. We looked high and low for her in all the dance scenes. We couldn't find her.
But not until like the latter half of the movie.
It
could have been in the I Like Boys scene.
Rita, if you're listening and you're out there, tell us what scene it is.
Is it true?
Or if any of you guys watch it and happen to glimpse her.
My theory is that it was somebody else named Rita Wilson, and then they just thought that it was the same Rita Wilson, and they put her because I still think she was too old to have been in.
Too old because she was, and only a couple of years later she was in Now and Then as like the pregnant. What's her name?
Person.
Yeah. No, I forgot the character's name, but
Sandy. No.
Sam?
No. Sam
Who does she play? What's her little person character in that movie?
The little chubby girl.
Oh, no.
Regina. No. Regina's Christina Ricci.
Oh, man.
Wait, no. Regina? Is that even someone's name? I don't know. Teensy? No. That's the other girl. What's her face? Oh, I forget. Damn it.
Okay,
anyways.
Well, we'll cover that movie. We've mentioned that movie in a couple now in a row. So
now and later.
That will be coming. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes now and then. Okay. So, anything else from this beautiful classic of a film?
The voodoo scene is so awkward. Do you think she was going to go all the way if that teacher didn't walk in and be like, Mr. Weaver? Do you think she would have pulled the undies down and like...
That's in the porno Teen Witch. That's what happens.
It's just like, I would never, like, even if I wanted to humiliate him, I would never want to see his gross old man penis ever in my life.
The Teen Witch porno movie is called Teen Witch Broomstick Bang.
It's called Teen Bitch. No, it has to be like the title. The title has to like Teens Witch You. Teens Witch Teens. I don't know. Naked teens.
We'll think on that. I'm usually so good at that. I like Teen Witch.
Steam Witch.
Cream Witch?
Ew! Stop! Come on.
I'll stop.
It's a family program.
Is it?
No.
We're explicit.
It's not. We got the E. We got the E.
Okay, we gotta stop, yo. It's our longest one ever.
Oh, what? People love it.
I know.
Anyway, so that's the flick. We love it. We know you do too. Yeah, that's the end of our Halloween special.
Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be doing just a bunch of randos for the month of November.
Woo-hoo.
So stay tuned. Rate us, love us, listen to us, download us.
It'll be our finest hour.
It's gonna be our finest hour.
We're gonna talk about movies, yeah.
All those movies that you love to watch when you were little.
We'll talk about them and you'll be happy too. Woo!
Catch you later, skaters.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, it's Chris from More Gooder Than, where we rate and dissect pop culture one argument at a time. I'm joined by my compadres, Corey Sasso.
What it is, home trees?
And Donnie the Big D Carr.
Que mas?
For those of you that would be joining us for the first time, Corey, Donnie, and I each take the side of some piece of pop culture and try and sway the world to agree with our opinions on which one is most goodest, with a 100% money-back guarantee to entertain you in the process. So we've done which is goodest out of the Indiana Jones trilogy.
We've also covered the twin film phenomenon like Armageddon and Deep Impact.
We've also compared and contrasted excellent Bill Paxton performances.
So if that's something that you guys like to enjoy, check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, and our website, mgtpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter @mgtpodcast. Thanks, and check us out.